xQC sparks controversy after claiming AI is already better than most artists. Okay, let's read the article. This is on Dexerto. Streaming star xQC is adding more fuel to the fire as the debate surrounding AI art even more heated, claiming that tools like ChatGPT are better than most artists' work. I think this is where the okay. I see his point. I see his point, and I can see why people are mad. The problem here, what do you define about how do you define better? How do you define better? With something as subjective as art, how do you not only is something as subjective as art, but something that is used for multiple purposes, correct? Because art, there are many purposes for art. Art isn't like a single purpose thing. It's not like a lawnmower, right? Where like you have a lawnmower and it's like, is this lawnmower better than the other? There's like objective metrics, like an objective thing that you can look at. This one has a better motor. This one cuts the grass better. This one uses less power. This one uses battery instead of gas. Like there's like different things that you can look at in terms of like, but its function, the function of a lawnmower is to mow lawns. There's not really another purpose for a lawnmower besides mowing lawns. So because of that, you can kind of make a determination like, okay, well, what do you mean by better lawnmower? Well, it mows the lawn better. And then like whatever you have around that. The problem with art is there are multiple reasons for art, right? So one purpose for art would be appreciation. So like, you know, and this is like people that go to like a museum and they like look at an art and they're like, fascinating. My soul is touched. Beautiful. Like that. That is like an appreciation of art. And people that do that are kind of appreciating the art. It is, to them, an art piece is the crystallization of a person's experience and message that they want to show the world. So when you look at, and this is why something, for instance, like something like a fucking banana, you know, taped to a wall, they would consider that art because they're like, what did he mean by this? Like, why is what does the banana represent? Why did they pick this color of tape? Why is there a little wrinkle in the tape? And they take all of this in, right? And they try to extrapolate meaning that was maybe intentional or maybe non-intentional from the actual artist, right? But the problem is that's not the only use. It can be appreciated in that way, definitely, but there are some forms of art that are more used for utility. And the utility being like, for instance, let's use a thumbnail is a great example. A thumbnail, right? What is the purpose of an art in a thumbnail? Or the art in a graphic, like for, say, an advertisement. What is the purpose of the art? The purpose of the art is to be as appealing as possible, to be as eye-catchy as possible, to get other people interested in it. So do you see how, like, the purpose of it is not the same? And of course, there's like there's like a whole spectrum in between that, right? Like, for instance, like you could say the same thing about like a manga, right? A manga or an anime. It's like when you watch it, you're like, why did they choose this art style? Like, what does this art style like have to say about like the world? Like, for instance, a really, really good example of this, for instance, is Madoka. Like, if you've ever seen like Madoka Magica, like if you look at the art, it's like what they try to convey from the shit that's happening in it. Just like the art style itself being like super cutesy, but then being juxtaposed by like this kind of shit. Like, see how like it kind of, this art kind of brings like a sort of unsettling, like magazine cutout sort of a feeling to it. And then it's juxtaposed to like the cute, like character art, right? Like you look at Madoka and like the way she's drawn, she looks like really cute and like kind of like really, really girlishly drawn. And like this art style is very soft, right? And you have that combined with like the stuff that's going on, the sheer violence, the danger, like the creepiness of it, and all of it kind of is a part of the work. Does that make sense? DRC Gaming says, I get the banana thing, I just can't see it. Yeah, and that's because that part of it is in the eye of the beholder, right? DRC, it's like what kind of meaning you're able to like actually pull from that, or if that meaning is even real at all, right? Because how do you know? Like there can be a case of a person who's just like, banana on a wall, I want money. And there's like nothing behind it. It's literally empty. There's no thought involved in it. And that is possible that that could be the case. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, so profound, because you're also connecting with that with your own experiences. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, that's the difference really, I think, between, anyway, so I think this is where the issue lies in the argument. people are making a completely different argument in this, right? So xQC says something like ChatGPT is better than most artists' work. Okay, well, what is your definition of better? If your definition of better is utility, as in like it is like the most aesthetic possible in order to grab attention, then the answer is yes, right? Because there's a lot of beginner artists compared to good artists. So there are really, really good artists that are like would be really solid at doing this job, right? But the job itself does not depend on the human element. Does that make sense? The human experience, the human element behind it is meaningless. All that matters is it's basically a consumer item. Do you understand what I mean? And I think that's the disconnect, basically. He's saying that it's better for a certain purpose that he views art as, because it's a product. So to him, the product that the AI is creating is better than the product that a human makes. Most humans make. And that's why he says better than most artists' best work, because there are a lot of artists, right? Like a lot of artists do not have the technical, they do not have the technical skill to create something like that aesthetic on a more broad level, right? And that's not to say that like art that isn't universally aesthetic, not aesthetic to some people. It depends, right? Like some like is a person's art worth less because it's less aesthetic to a broader range of people? Well, it depends on the purpose of the art. And you can use like what else there's a lot behind that. So let's continue. In a new trend sweeping across social media, netizens are literally melting ChatGPT's processors with requests to recreate photos in the style of Studio Ghibli's beloved anime films like Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, my favorite one, by the way, Princess Mononoke, and Kiki's Delivery Service. This fad has reignited the fierce debate surrounding the ethics of using AI to create artwork, which has already roped in several massive content creators like Asmongold and Nimpol. Wait, what did Asmongold say? I don't know. Now the xQC has entered the fray, giving a hot take that's already causing chaos in both in and outside of his fan base. So what is the purpose of this? Like, what are the purpose of these? The purpose, like, and see, this is what I'm talking about. The purpose. This is like actually important, right, to the context, right? So let's look at the thing, right? So what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is just fucking memes. It's a joke, and like you look at like, oh wow, that's fucking awesome. Like, lol, that looks so cool, and like the just Ghibli style. That's the purpose behind it. Nobody is making some profound argument that this has some kind of etherical quality of soul that has a deeper meaning. There is no deeper meaning. The meaning behind it is somebody thought it would be fucking hilarious if the freaking Paris Olympics shooter guy had a freaking Ghibli art of him. There's no meaning behind it. And it's the same thing with all of these, like this. Like, this is the meme that we've all seen with the guy looking at the other girl. And, it's something familiar. We've all seen this picture in, like, the real form, right? But seeing it in Ghibli is just kind of like, it's just an extra layer of funny. And so that's the purpose of it. There's no meaning behind it. There's no, I guess, soul behind it. It is just the person was like, I would love to see it like that. And then they showed it, and then now everyone can see it. Well, I guess like there would be like a little bit of it, and that would be the person's desire to see it in. That would be the soul of it. Is the original creator, as in the person who took it and the person who came up with the idea, right? So it's an idea, right? The idea of taking that meme, which is also not his, converting it to like a Ghibli style. It's just his idea to see that. And wanting it to come to fruition using AI. xQC heats up the AI debate, saying it's better than most artists. Again, yeah. After trying out GPT's image creating capabilities for himself, the streamer addressed concerned viewers sounding off in his chat, one of whom labeled trend as AI slop. A lot of people have been using slop as like kind of like a, what's the word? Like a negative term. Lately, you hear that a lot, and yeah, a lot of people do call it AI slop, and I think in a lot of cases it's still negative in that it still does belittle any effort that went into anything. I think it comes from an emotion of like people not wanting it to be equated to like normal art, which I feel like, but nobody's saying that, you know. Let's keep going first. Why do you call everything slop these? Oh my god. He literally is talking about what I was saying. Why do you call everything slop these days? xQC responded. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like slop is becoming a buzzword to discredit. This is literally what I was saying. A lot of AI art coming out is literally better than most artists' best work. If something does better by itself than the artist can do in their entire life, brother, I gotta be honest with you. I don't give a shit. It's just better. What he's saying is from the point of view of a person that's looking at it specifically as a product. And again, what do you mean by better, right? If it's better for the use in memes, then it's better in the use of memes. If it's better in some cases of like graphic design for advertising, thumbnails, etc., then it's better in those cases. Because the fact of the matter is, it is better at some things. AI is better at some things, and that's just the facts. You can hate me for it if you want. I'm just telling the truth. It's faster. It's instant. Compare it to an artist. If I hired an artist to make this picture, it would take maybe a month, maybe 2, and that's assuming they're on time. Honestly, probably 2x that. 2x, 3x that, honestly, in your estimate. It's going to take a long time. On top of that, it's going to cost a lot of money because, again, man hours. You're paying for not only the artist's time, but you're also paying for their experience. Like, based on like how good that artist is, you're also paying for that as well, right? It is cheaper than an actual person, and it is faster than an actual person. And in a lot of cases, the end product could be better for its purpose. The end product being the product of it being used, whatever the purpose is, right? Maybe that purpose is to grab attention. Maybe that purpose is to make it easier for a person to build a connection with something, with a brand, with a product, etc., right? Is it better at being art in the sense of conveying the intention of a person who drew it and showcasing the skill of like a human? It's not. So it's different, right? It provides different benefits. In the same way, I keep bringing up this example. Is a knife made by a person better than a knife made by a machine? So previously, in previous times, you had to get a blacksmith. You would hire a blacksmith. They would make you a knife personalized. Like, this is your knife, right? Nowadays, machines can make knives just as good, if not better, than humans. In most cases, better. Just for the price, the quality, and it functions in just the same way. To this day, value a handmade, personalized blacksmith knife from a knife creator for their cooking. And it will always be that way. Now, is your average person that is like doesn't really appreciate cooking that much, and they're like, yo, I'm just fucking hungry. I want to cook up a cup ramen, and I want to slice some spam to put in my freaking bowl. I don't really give a fuck. There's plenty of those people who don't have the money, they don't have the time, and they don't care. They don't care to like appreciate like, wow, look at this knife. It's like the way it's made. It's like, it's beautiful. It's like, man, like, let me sniff it, right? Like, wow, look at this beautiful fucking handle made out of like this really beautiful wood, and like the way that it's just so good. Damascus. Oh my god, look at the dimples in the metal from the hammering, like the hand hammering. I can see it. Nobody cares. Most people don't care, but some people will. And me included, I care. I like that. Like, I like how a knife looks, how it feels. All of that stuff is really important to me because, you know, it has like a sentimental value, right? Why am I sniffing a knife? Just Metal Gear memes. Anyway, I would feel the same way if AI started taking over streamers' work. Would I feel the same way? I actually would say that Nero is definitely better than 50% of streamers, 100%. Because she creates a product. Okay, guys, what is the product? The product is watching a silly anime girl talk and play games. That's the product, right? And if you don't really care about the connection, again, some people might care. Some people will be like, oh, I want to talk to a real person. I want to talk to a real person. In the same way, like I would care if I was playing okay. So for instance, if I was playing Fortnite and I was fighting a human player, that is different to me than fighting a bot. Does that make sense? Because I want the human connection of freaking fragging someone's brain in Fortnite. That's not the same as with a bot, but functionally they're the same. If you could functionally make the bots exactly like human, then functionally they're the same for the purpose of opposition, but not for the connection. Do you understand? Gideon Blaze says, why should I pay an overpriced artist who takes weeks to create a drawing when he postpones the deadline 2 or 3 times when AI can generate the same thing for free in seconds? Well, it depends. What do you want out of it? That's what I'm talking about, Gideon. What do you want out of it? That's the important part. What do you value and what is the meaning of it for you? So when I hire an artist, I mean, I can tell you from my own experience, I deal in a lot of art, both AI and hand-drawn. So here's my perspective from a person who does that. I want specifically the view. I want to see what my friend, the artist, when I tell him I want this, I want to know what his interpretation is of it. So that is the important part to me. Does that make sense? The product is not the important part, because if the product was important, I mean, the product is still good. I mean, he's really good. My artist is really good. No, I'm not lying. He's fucking, I don't gotta glaze him. He's fucking really good. What I want to know is I want to know how he sees it. I want him to be a part of the creative process. And that's why it's important to me. An AI cannot do that. An AI could never do that. It's impossible. It is the one thing that AI cannot do. Saber says I try to do that. Yeah, Saber does that too, even with AI. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, Saber. I really do. I mean, and Saber, that's why I pay you to do it. Even though it's AI, that's why I still pay you to do it, because that is what I want from it. I could just do it myself. I'm not saying I'm as good as you, but like I can do it like relatively okay, like to an acceptable level. And if I didn't care about that, I would just do it myself. But I care about what you have to say. It's the same thing with Shy, where I hire Shy to do writing because I want to know her interpretation of the world and how she sees it and what she likes and the kind of things that she does. I value it personally because I think it's good. And that's why I ask her to do it instead of get AI to do it. And that's the difference, really. And I think for some reason, people are incapable of differentiating the two and coming up with a more balanced argument, I think. Right? Like people are so fucking like mad about the AI thing. And the thing is, and this is the truth, guys. Let me give some hard truth here. The hard truth is that the AI Pandora's box has already been opened, and it is literally impossible. It's not going away. And, you know, you can get mad at me, you can hate me for that, but that's just the facts. That's just the facts. And like, you have to like play around it. That's it. It will never get worse. It will only get better. Again, all of the arguments, here's the thing. My argument will stand the test of time. It will always be, and it will always be the case. My argument. Until you can like create a robot with a soul, I guess, it will always be the case. The human element is the important, is what people value in art, in like artisanal things. That will always be the case forever. The argument that people make that AI art is slop and it looks bad, that will not always be the case. It will always, it will improve. And at some point it will be it will not be recognizable. You will not be able to tell if piece A is AI or piece B is AI. You won't be able to tell. At one point it's going to be like that. And then you won't be able to make that argument anymore. That, oh, it looks bad because it's AI. That argument will die in the fire in 5 years. Anyway, he says, I don't give a shit. It's just better. Again, like for that purpose, right? For whatever purpose he has for it. For memes, right? Maybe it is better. For memes, it's definitely, it's not that it's better necessarily. It's that it matters less, because yeah, it matters less for memes. Anyway, I don't care. Why would I care? I don't consume oh, here you go. I don't consume the method. I consume the product. This is what I mean. Because the vision, the window into like the mind, the soul is in the method. So I consume the product. If this gives me a better product, I have to give credit where credit is due. I mean, it's true. I mean, again, it depends. If you don't care about that, you don't care about the experience, you don't care about the vision, then the product is the only thing that matters. And when the product is the only thing that matters, then AI is faster, cheaper, and it does a pretty decent job. And that's just the facts of it. The influencer remarks quickly sparked a heated debate across platforms like Reddit X, with one user writing, "We're reaching generational lows in appreciation of art and artists in any form. It's slop because it takes zero effort to create." This isn't true, actually. It takes zero effort to play this shit. It's just actually not. Well, it's not that it's not true. It's that it's true sometimes and sometimes it's not true. So this is like an absolute statement that doesn't factor in effort. Basically, you don't know that, right? You don't know. It is possible for it to be the case where a person just types like an apple and then the AI shits out an apple, right? You don't know the amount of work that they put into it, like how much they refined like that specific image to look. That's because what happens generally for AI, if you've never like tried AI art before, I highly recommend you try it so that you can understand it more. Basically, it would be like you would tell it specifically what you want. You will get like a thing back. And then what you will do is you will find aspects of it that you don't like and aspects that you do like. And then you will negative prompt the stuff that you don't like. And then you will try to add more stuff in order to push it more towards your ideal. So it is like still a person sculpting something. It's just they're sculpting an AI instead of like actually drawing. Right? They're trying to create a intended result using a different method. It is a different method of doing it. But still the original vision is still in their mind, and that image could be bad. And the thing is that same thing can apply to also modern art, right? For instance, I gave the example earlier where a person could just take a banana and staple it to a wall, or not staple, like tape it to a wall, and there's no meaning behind it and nothing. It's empty. And yet people will look at that and say that it's art. And the same thing happens with AI art, is somebody can do literally the same thing and pass it off as art. You don't know like the actual vision and the actual work that went into it. It's impressive that someone can completely miss the point of art and expression so confidently, another said. However, others are in full agreement with the broadcaster. With one writing, he's right. Most people don't care how it's made or if it looks cool. If it looks cool, yes. And I think for some people, this is the case. I have zero issue with AI when it's convenient, and I'm happy with the end result. So many people have to wait days, weeks, or longer to get custom art that's commissioned by people, and this is pretty cool. And the thing is honestly, a lot of AI art, there definitely is like a spectrum of it. There's definitely are people that are like using AI art in place of like an actual artist. That is the case, sure. But a lot of people are also using AI to create art that would never exist. As in, it's art that they would never commission and they would never make themselves because they lack the skill themselves, or but it's not important enough for them to commission someone for it. And again, a lot of the times these aren't really like, man, you know, to be really funny is like this guy is this meme in like a Ghibli style would be fucking hilarious. But is that worth the money? Is that worth like what, like $500, $600, $1,000 to like commission someone to do it? Maybe not. xQC is the latest streamer to speak out on the topic after fellow influencer Asmongold chimed in with an equally harsh statement, urging artists to focus on a career change. This is such a small fucking targeted quote. I don't know what the context of this was. So I'm just gonna like, rather than make a comment on what Asmongold said, I'm going to make a comment in general on this kind of a statement. Focus on the career change. So there are a lot of people that want to get into art. The fact of the matter in life, and this is reality, everybody has stats. Everyone was born with stats. You can fluctuate those stats slightly. Everyone has stats and proficiencies and proficiencies. Like a freaking, you know, if you have wizard stats, it's very hard to be a fighter. If you have fighter stats, it's very hard to play a wizard. Does that mean that you can't play a wizard? You can, but it's going to be really fucking hard. You're going to have less HP. You're going to have less damage. You're going to have less ability to hold aggro than everybody else if your stats suck. And that's just life. Unfortunately, that is, you know, you can get mad. Don't hate me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's how the game is designed, okay? Some people do not have the talent and the stats to be a good artist. I don't have the stats to be a basketball player. So even if I wanted to play basketball, it wouldn't fucking matter. I'm a woman. I'm already debuffed. So what I'm basically trying to say is that, like, if your job previously was only to a level and you're incapable of leveling up, you know, you can't level break the plateau, you might have to find another job because AI is going to replace all of the easier jobs. All of the jobs that are require less expertise are going to be taken up first. And this is the same thing that happens with writing. This is the same thing, you know, this has been happening to writing for a while. Nobody fucking talks about it. All of this stuff has been happening for quite some time. You might have to just do something else. Use AI to help you. Because the funny thing is AI actually buffs people with less skill disproportionately more than people who have a talent. So you could, for instance, utilize AI because you could maybe draw like the lines and try to get like the vision of like what's in your head. And then you can use AI to help you fill that out, to kind of help you with the gap, right? Anyway. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has addressed the trend in a humorous post on X, joking about his efforts to make a super intelligence to cure cancer or whatever, only to wake up to see hundreds of people using his own AI to make him into a twink Ghibli style. Okay, you want to know another thing though? Here's another thing, guys. So it's okay to take the jobs of people that are bio researchers that love doing that. Why is that okay? because it does something important like cure cancer. I thought art was important. It's okay to use art to like edit stuff. Oh, but what about editors? They got paid for that. There are many people that was their job. Their job was to edit writing and to like make sure that it was grammatically correct and stuff. Yeah, how about spell checkers? Somebody did that before. On and on forever. There will be automation that replaces people. And what can you do about it besides actually find a way for you to be relevant? It's coming for all jobs. Doesn't matter what you do, a bot is coming for you, says Churros. Exactly. And I think that basically sums up what I have to say about it. Tectone says, sorry for using AI art on my last post. Wait, did he really? Did he actually? Oh my god. Okay, sorry for using AI art on my last post. I should do things the right way. Artist, I'm looking for a piece made of me, Kafka, Ula, and Cantarella on a date in the woods. My budget is $0. You see this part right here? This part is actually real, by the way. Because a lot of these memes, the budget is $0 and you want it now. I painted this for 8 months with my teeth and one single tear brush, I swear. Anyway, that's pretty fucking funny though. Bro, thank you so much. AR could have never did something like this. Thank you, bro. I needed this. Oh my god. People with opinions like these were never the ones financially supporting artists in the first place, so of course they love AI. The niche group that supports artists financially care about more than the final product. They like seeing works in progress, draw streams, and artist improvement. Isn't this literally what I said? This is actually literally what I said. This was literally like exactly what I said, basically. I'm just saying that for the most part, the people who have always supported artists seem to still care about supporting artists, and the ones moving to AI are a different group. Yeah, I agree. Why are people scared of AI? New tools, same fear. Person, that's not art. Yeah, I mean, this literally happened too. This is literally a thing that happened. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, right? Am I right, YouTube? Twitch.tv/Leaflit. All right.